Okay, let's do a little thought experiment. Picture this. It's 2026, just a couple years from now. The classroom? Well, it's been completely transformed, all thanks to artificial intelligence. Now, usually when we think about more tech, we think less human, right? More distance, less personal connection. But what if? What if that whole idea is just wrong?
Yeah, I know. It sounds a little backward, doesn't it? A paradox. But just hang with me for a bit, because that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We're going to explore how AI, instead of pushing teachers out, could actually be their #1 tool for building stronger, more human connections with their students.
All right, so first things first, what are we actually talking about here? Because, this isn't some sci-fi, far-in-the-future concept anymore. These AI tools are here, now. They're basically these super smart assistants that have become a real cornerstone of teaching today.
And that's the core idea, really. Don't picture some robot standing at the front of the class. Instead, think of AI in education as a super capable co-pilot for the teacher. Its whole job is to crunch data and just simplify all the ridiculously complex things that teachers and students juggle every single day. A really good way to picture this is like a teacher's very own Swiss Army knife. Seriously. It's got a tool for pretty much everything, and they basically fall into 4 big groups. You've got your workflow enhancers. Those speed up all the boring admin stuff. Then you have conceptual coaches, which are like personal tutors, engagement engines to make class fun and interactive, and differentiators, which tailor the lessons for each and every.
And I'm not just talking theory here. These things are out in the wild, in classrooms right now. Like, you've got tools like MagicSchool.ai that can spit out a whole lesson plan in, seconds? Or Khanmigo from Khan Academy. It's like a 24/7 tutor that helps students figure out the answer themselves instead of just handing it to them. And then, get this, a tool called Diffit can take a single news article and boom, instantly create versions for 5 different reading levels. Talk about a game changer.
Okay, so that's what these tools are. But the real question is, how does this change things? What's the big deal? Well, the magic here isn't just about doing things faster. It's about what all that newfound time unlocks. It lets teachers shift their energy away from the routine stuff and pour it into the relational stuff, the human stuff.
And this right here, this is the heart of it all. The AI takes on all that busy work that just drains a teacher's time and energy. So imagine this. Instead of spending a whole evening grading essays, a teacher can use that time to actually sit with a student who's having a tough time. Or they can challenge that brilliant kid who's getting bored in class. They can do those one-on-one check-ins that make all the difference. That's where the real magic of teaching happens, right?
So you see where this is going. It's all leading to this one super important point. As AI gets better and better at managing information, the teacher's job doesn't shrink. It actually becomes more important. They're not just information givers anymore. They become the essential human anchor in this massive sea of data.
Because, let's be real, there are some things an algorithm will just never be able to do. It can't offer wisdom learned from experience. It can't feel genuine empathy for a student. It can't give a kid a moral compass to figure out right from wrong. And it definitely can't be that emotional safety net when things get tough. That stuff, that's purely, powerfully human.
And get this is a wild stat. Research suggests that a whopping 80% of what makes learning really stick has nothing to do with the textbook. It's the nonverbal stuff. It's the encouraging smile from a teacher, that little nod that says, "You've got this," or just a subtle change in their tone of voice. And AI just doesn't have that social presence, that human warmth that's so critical for nurturing a kid's spirit.
And it goes even deeper. An algorithm, it sees data points. It sees a test score. But a teacher sees the spark in a student's eye when they finally get a tough concept. They can spot that raw talent and become this innovation mentor, helping turn a flicker of interest into a real passion. Data's never going to see that. Okay, let's zoom out for a second. Let's think bigger picture. How does all this in the classroom connect to the rest of the world? Well, we live in a pretty divided time, right? The classroom is one of the last places where we all come together on common ground. And when we build a system that truly supports our teachers, well, that can be a foundation for a more connected and maybe even more peaceful world.
Think about it. When AI helps level the playing field, when it gives every single kid access to amazing one-on-one tutoring, that starts to close the education gap. And that kind of equity is a huge step towards social harmony. Plus, when you can use tech to easily expose students to all sorts of different global viewpoints, you're helping to break down biases before they even have a chance to grow.
So the big question is, how do we actually do this?
How do we make this amazing future a reality? Well, it starts with a really important shift in how we think. We need to move away from an AI-first approach and build a teacher-first one. The whole point is to create a system that puts people, our teachers and students, at the very center.
So what's the playbook? It's actually pretty clear. There are 3 big steps. 1, we need policies that guarantee AI is used to cut down on teacher workload, not just pile more on. The whole goal is more human time, right? 2, we have to train our educators not just on how to use the tools, but on the ethics behind them. That's how they teach kids to be smart, critical users of AI. And 3, social-emotional learning. It can't be an afterthought. It needs to be a core subject, giving teachers the framework to be that compassionate, human guide.
I absolutely love this next idea. It's such a perfect metaphor for this new relationship. The teacher is the alchemist. They're the one who works the real magic. And AI? It's just the tool in their hands, the thing that helps them turn the boring lead of memorizing facts into the gold of real human potential and wisdom.
And really, when you boil it all down, it comes back to one simple, powerful truth. Technology will only ever be a tool. That's it. When it comes to the stuff that really matters, getting kids excited to learn, working together, feeling motivated, the teacher is and always will be the most important person in that room.
So, here we are, right at the beginning of this incredible digital renaissance in education. The question isn't if AI is going to change things. That's already happening. The real question, the one we all have to think about, is this. How are we going to choose to use these amazing new tools to shape our kids' future? To shape not just their minds, but their hearts too?